Hey, what's up everybody? Quick mic check. How you guys doing? Real quick before we get started, let me know if the mic's okay, and let me know if the music is too loud. I don't want the music over. All good. Okay, so far so good. Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, what's up everybody? We're back. Oh yeah, just got mic is a little low. Okay, we could raise the mic. Okay, we could raise the mic. Let's see, how's that? Mic good, music a little loud now. Okay, I'm just trying to dial it in here. Yeah. Okay, are we better? Are we better? Perfect. Okay, good. All right, that's what we want to hear. All right. Okay, guys. So yeah, we got Bitcoin up on the screen like normal, starting out, right? Still not sure why mic sounds low. Okay. All right, guys, we got Bitcoin up. So we've been looking at this large cipher, right? 4-hour cipher. Right here in yellow, right? So we had the initial low on Duck's birthday on the 28th February, where we put in the X, and then we ran up to the A on A high March 13th, B swing low 618 March 25th, C all-time high April 14th, and currently we're hanging out down here at the D, which we've identified as has happened basically twice, right? Initially we were like this, and we basically we had the initial run, and all we did was we came and went right back to the entry, and it's not a bad thing, guys. Confirmation, right? Double bottom, never hurt nothing, and you're getting good price follow through price action, right? So far so good. So what you don't want to see in this event currently is the X February 28 swing low at 4,300, and basically 4,300. You do not want to lose 4,300. Right now you're at 50,000. Okay, so if you were in a position right here, right, you have to have the stop initially right here, okay, below the X. So 42, basically. You just don't, if you lose 43, get out of there. So right now that's just a 1-to-1, right? See that? That's just a coin flip. So we got to make the trade more equitable than that. But by raising up here to our target area, we have now created a 2-to-1 trade. So for now, that is sufficient enough for the moment. What we could also do though is, paint other targets, right? So by painting a second target, you can get a better risk to reward, right? Now you're at 3.3 to 1. Okay, so you can kind of have two targets like this. So basically we gotta kind of now have to look and figure out how we're gonna get up there, right? So we still have this line right here that we have painted on the chart, and what this was basically, where were we identifying this from? Might have been a measured move off the 1 hour, but it looks like it's kind of lining up with this previous kind of not so major swing low, but definitely a point where we came off this head and shoulders, right, and sold off and then rallied again. So that seems to be our initial target. Let's kind of figure out why we had that there. I'm not sure. Don't remember. It's been a rough week. We'll find out though here shortly. Okay, so basically we have this double bottom. We go to the 4-hour divergence. It was there, but not as clear as we like to see it. But the RSI was fine. You know what I mean? The RSI was perfectly fine. Where we had the initial low on the relative strength, and then we rallied up and put in a slightly higher levels, right, of relative strength. And at the same time that that was happening, price is that's more of a convergence right here. I was hoping that that was going to line up with this, which it doesn't, which is a little concerning, but the hourly looked really, really nice. That's kind of what we entered off of. So let me go back to that real quick. Yeah, see, we had it painted here. Okay, so watch. On the hourly, we had this divergence, really nice divergence, okay? Where the relative strength just, much higher levels. And again, on the MACD as well, you almost like, the MACD is weird sometimes, watch. Sometimes it almost paints a head and shoulders. You gotta like watch for this. It's interesting, and you'll see it time and time again on both sides, where the MACD itself almost paints an inverse head and shoulders-esque structure, okay? And then when it does this, it usually paints this island that follows it by itself. Okay, so watch this. So then you have this one here. You often see this with a significant change in momentum structure. So let's kind of go back now to where price was when that happened, okay? So that's where like we basically were like not as afraid as everyone else, because you see this RSI was basically diverging with us. You had this like inverse head and shoulders on the MACD, and then this much lower level, almost non-existent negative momentum island, right? So that was a nice little area that it kind of just this rounding change in momentum, right? The RSI in oversold territories. See what I mean? You were in oversold territories, and you also had this nice change in the structure, okay? So that being said, let's keep moving forward. Now, this is subtle, but on the hourly, you're now painting hidden bullish divergence from this non-existent almost low, right? We have much lower levels of negative momentum on the MACD, and at the same time, price is putting in a higher low. Okay, so that's hidden bullish divergence on the 1 hour with a bullish engulfing follow through. Okay, so ideally, you're basically looking, you've painted this structure, right, where we're starting to do. Hold on, real quick. Let me now that we kind of see where we are on the oscillators, all these orange lines, guys, it's just support resistance looking left that I was kind of identifying a area of congestion basically that we might reverse. Okay, so anyways, we could clean these up a little bit for now. Let's go back to about here. I just don't want this so cluttery. Okay, so what we are identifying here is this low, right? We had this low in price. That's our 786, right? Then we're painting this higher low. Okay. So right now, again, you guys remember this kind of structure, right? Where it's already like getting dragon-esque on the lower time frame. Okay, see this? Where you have that spine breakout, painting these, the low, the initial low, higher low, higher low. Now you got hidden bullish divergence, right? So all of the story is starting to put itself together, to paint the picture, right, of what might occur. And remember, when we talk about these structures, right, that in this case it being basically this like this wedge, right? You see this? Okay, so if we're looking at this as our structure, okay, it's not all the way to the tip, right? The tip of the structure would be completing it like this, all the way in, right? And then either the move down or the move up, right, is what you would think. Well, it doesn't really work that way, right? We don't ever make it to the end, never make it to the finish line on these type of structures. You typically only make it 70% of the way there. So if I was a kind of a power meter here, and this was my full bar in gray, and I said, okay, how much of the way of this power meter have I completed, right? And I would say that's about 70% of the way. So when you when you develop these, 70% of the way along is kind of when Bulkowski says that's when the breakout should occur. Okay, now again, it could still be to the downside, but why do we think that it has more probable to break to the upside? Well, that's because we have the hidden bullish divergence right here. Okay, we just identified that on the MACD, right? We have the hidden bullish divergence, and we have the RSI trend line maintaining. It's only approaching the 50% level. You basically, that means you have a long ways you can break back, you can break back above this heart line 50 on the RSI, and you could just continue painting your way up here until finally you put in the divergence, right? The bearish divergence. Okay, so right now, I mean, we're right here. We're not even to the 50% again yet. I mean, we're approaching, but again, we have a long ways to go before this could stop running, okay, to the upside if we get it here. Okay, so let's go back to our structure. Okay, so this development here, 70% of the way roughly. Okay, so you figure this should bounce here off of this upsloping trend line and this horizontal line resistance, right? We have an area like X marks the spot, right? X marks the spot type of situation where we should get our bounce. Okay, we should get our bounce. We should hold. We need to hold. We don't want to lose. Basically, I mean, it's like 49.7, 49. What is it? 49.7 is the top line. 49 is the bottom line. So really, yeah, you don't want to lose 49. That's definitely your first sign of weakness, right? Right now, your stop is still down here though, at 45.5. You're giving it room to breathe still, but you don't want to see this get lost and back test it as a resistance and then start selling off again, right? That's not what you want to see. Okay, instead, let me clean up this little X here. Again, instead of what we said is we want to hold, keep this as support, and break out pretty soon here. I don't even know that we'll make it that far through the structure. I feel like this should happen relatively soon, to be honest with you. Okay, you got that hidden bullish divergence and you got this structure. I feel like the next candle could just be, out of there, right? So watch out. Again, you don't want to lose 45.5. Okay, so initial target, we basically took the initial D, our 786, and we took it to this neckline. Okay, and we clone it, copy it, paste it, whatever you want to call it, and we're bringing it up here. Okay, and this is how we're finding this current target area that you see painted. Okay, something like that, right? So that's where this is coming from, so you guys can see, and that's where we had this white line. So 54.6, you can see that it's a square up on the hourly as well. That's what it was too. Look at this nice square up area. So 54.6 is the next area of interest for Bitcoin. You may see something like this, guys. Break, hook, go, and then all the way down and back test it. Okay, and then you go again, and here's where you finally go, right? So watch out for the old bait and switch, the old banana in the tailpipe here, right? So but yeah, ideally 54 to 54.6, somebody could take 40% off the table, 60% off the table, hope to get a dip, re-enter, and run it again, right? All right, excuse me. Okay, so that's the plan for Bitcoin. 54, don't want to lose 45. Don't really want to even lose 49, but yeah, we want 54 next. Again, we got to take this one step at a time. You know, we got to break 54 first, but we're still looking for the 62 to 63 area as the real kind of still may not be the top, but definitely will be a local, you know, 1 hour chart top, right? So yeah, that's Bitcoin. Yeah, that was at the beginning. Okay, so moving along, we have ETH, Russian Ethereum. Okay, guys, we were concerned with a potential bearish bat type development here. So it's going to be interesting. And again, it might be fine because all you might see is you get this run up here. You kind of consolidate here at this resistance 886, right? And then you sell back off just to back test this again as support, and then you go again, okay? So it could still play out, but it doesn't have to play out all the way down, right? Because if the trend is bullish here, right, to the upside, if we're bullish, these bearish patterns in a bullish market, right, they're just not as significant, okay? So they can still play out and give you an initial little reaction, but you don't get the full reversal, right? So we'll just have to see. And again, this could also end up leaving the 886 and going up to the 1272, okay? So the 1272 would be up at 4600, okay? And this would be, now it's going to change and invalidate the bat and end up being a butterfly, okay? So we got to watch out for that as well. How are we going to know? Well, when we get to this area, the 886, right, we're going to be looking for some kind of double top here with a slightly higher high, and it's going to have lower levels of relative strength and momentum, right, and positive momentum, and we're going to paint that bearish divergence, okay, at the 886. But if we don't, and you just see convergence on everything, right, then 886, that's when it quickly ends up being the 1272, right? So we'll look to the oscillators when we hit this area. Ideally, you don't want to lose this 39.12 area that you already see kind of here marked. This is that previous like neckline area from this whoops, let me get it in your screen. This previous inverse head and shoulders kind of neckline, that's what this gray box represents that you're dealing with here on ETH. That could maybe act as support now, what was once previous resistance, right? So maybe you tap it again, but you don't want to lose it, right? So you don't want to go below it, regard it as a resistance, and sell off again, right? So that's kind of a very important validation zone to keep in mind. So yeah, next we are looking for basically 4200 to 4286, because again, like we said, it's the 886, right? So 886 is right there in purple. So in purple, you could see at 4290 the 886, and at 42 you have the 786. So this is our zone right here that we're looking for, okay? So we want to see price get up into this area, and ideally we want to break it and back test it as support if you want to see 46.41, right? But you know, one step at a time. We'll go to the oscillators when we approach this zone, and we'll see how we're looking. Again, we call it as we see it, right? If things are changing, then we adjust, right? So okay, guys, moving along, Litecoin. So right here we had this previous overhead kind of neckline, right? Overhead resistance turned into a neckline. Well, all we're really doing is the break, the hook, and we're basically just making a higher low, right? The low and now a higher low if we can hold, and we should get this to follow through back up into this initial target area between 350 and 360 on Litecoin. Okay, so yeah, I don't know how this looks. Let's see. Oh wait, I know what we could do real quick. We could ask the Magic 8 Ball. So let's ask the Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball, is Litecoin gonna be able to get up to 350 or 360? Moon. The Magic 8 Ball says we're going to the moon, so we might blow through 350 and get all the way back up to 420, right? According to the Magic 8 Ball. So pack your bags, we're heading to the moon. All right. So let's see. Yeah, we want to basically hold this this line right at 320. Basically, you really don't want to lose 320. Okay, so let's see. Oops. Let me go up a little bit here. Okay, so that was that area we were targeting. Oh, we've already hit it once, but it's definitely going to be another area of interest, right? What was once resistance, we're going to test as resistance again if we can get there, and hopefully this time maybe even break through it. So what is that? It is the basically 1272 area. Previous overhead resistance once, and it's also kind of coinciding with this 1272, right? So let me get this tool. This 1272 is 423. Okay, so that would start to be butterfly-esque price action. Okay, we could probably take to this high, 50% retrace, and then we got a 50% basically on the way back down, and then we'd be targeting the 1272 right here, 1272. And that's basically the dragon's tail, right? So let's see if you can get that 420 area again, possibly on Litecoin. All right, Dogecoin. Okay, so we talked about this for the past basically week, right? We said we had these layered orders down here. Initially, you had this 70% retracement, basically. I think you were here. So you had this 70% retracement. And, oops, let me move this into the screen a little better. Okay, so you had this 70% retracement. I'm looking right here, right? And what is that? That's from X low to the C high. You basically had only retraced 70% of the way here. You hadn't gotten to the 786, the blue line yet, right? So we said, okay, ideally we run up a little bit because we started to rally. So we said, okay, maybe we rally, but we sell back off and get that next slightly lower low. Hit the 786 in blue, and that's really where we traders settled up, right? Almost twice was right at that 786. We got the slightly lower low. We painted the bullish divergence on the MACD, right? Bullish divergence on the MACD, tail end bullish divergence on the RSI, right? Where right here, tail end RSI divergence, MACD significant at the 786 critical fib level, which was the completion zone of the cipher. So we move this to the 786, okay, right here. And this is how we ended up filling the rest of these bids in this buy zone. Stop was below the previous X, right? X low, this previous overhead resistance, flipped support. Our stop was below there, and we engulfed massively. And then follow through. And how convenient that some fundamental news was released inside of our buy zone when the technicals were going to pump it anyways, regardless of Tesla accepting Doggy for new currency or some shit. I don't know. So yeah, we don't give a we don't really care about the fundamentals for the most part, right? So it was the technicals. That engulfing candle was going to happen regardless, okay? So looks like you're selling off a little bit, but basically you're just going to start back testing these previous what was once resistance, right? You need a back test as support, hold it, and then you can continue to the highs. 65 cents, 69 cents, 73 cents. And we're thinking if you get here again, right? If you can get up here again, see this first area here, strike 1, second area, strike 2. Well, if somehow we can find our way up here again, that third strike, right, we should be able to break through that next time. And that's how we get 87 and 93. Okay, guys? So that is the dog. Okay, this is ATOM Cosmos. Okay, let me clean this up. Okay, guys, we are looking really nice here on Cosmos. Okay, so we painted in blue this massive bearish shark. Okay, you hit the 113 overhead fib extension, D short entry target area of the bearish shark, and you sold off, right? That's what a bearish shark will do to you. But what it also does is if you get this 113 on the shark, you have the ability at the 50% retracement from the C low to the D high, you got this 50% retracement area, okay? And if this 50% retracement area holds, which yes, you dip below it, just a double bottom at the 618 and come back above it, okay? So it's that follow through. I would say that you morphed into a 5-0 pretty significantly, not really concerned about it, and you are now just immediately being bought back up, right? And that's what you would want to see if you were a 5-0, right? Okay, so you have this downsloping trend line that we are also breaking out of currently. So ideally, maybe you get some kind of little back test here where you back test $26, right? Where maybe this sells all the way back off to here. You get some kind of double bottom and you run again, right? So look for that back test of $26 potentially. But other than that, looking good. I mean, we're really aiming for $34, right? Sweep the highs, sweep the previous highs just enough, paint the divergence, maybe we sell back off, right? So we'll just keep an eye on it. But yeah, so far that double bottom at 618, holding the 50, morph into 5-0, looks good. Oh, sorry. Okay. AVAX, exact same explanation. 113 D short entry target area was hit and no more. Bearish shark morphing into bullish 5-0 from the C low to the D high. The 50% retracement was 3150. 3150 is holding, and you got the follow through price action to confirm. And yeah, looking really good on AVAX. Ideally we have all these you know, these all these highs, right? We want to start sweeping these things, so our initial target is going to sweep the first two, right? So that's kind of a good area of interest for us at $43 from high to low. That's also the 886, $42, right? That'll sweep them. 886. I think we can muster that. And seems like price, you know, agrees for the most part at the moment. Some kind of 886 though does start to here, let me this 886, it brings in this, you know, X A B C D structure, right? So, you know, ideally it would be really nice again to sweep all this stuff and you get this 1272, right? So you could start painting secondary targets that, whoops, that'll give you the 1272, right? So 7 to 1 on your money there, 4, almost 5 to 1 on your money at the 886, right? So 886 being down here, right? 886 right here, 886 D, first target. Second target 1272 if you can get it. Third target would be the 1618, which is here. So it's basically going to look like this, and I'll paint that green so you could see. Second target would be here, and final target would be all the way up at $52. Okay, so we'll see how that paints out, but how it plays out. But yeah, AVAX so far looking good. As far as that morph on that 5.0, right? So let's continue on. FTM, same thing, guys. We had the harmonic in play for the bearish shark 113, sold off, right? Where's that 50 from C low to the D high? There's that 50, 60 cents, right? 50% retracement, holding, follow through. Golden zone is painted inside of that X box right there. Okay, so FTM, yeah, we just need to keep testing this initial area, which is the 382, right? The 382 right here, the 382 is at 69 cents, and we're basically right at that 382. Wait, I could be saying that backwards. I am. 382 would be this way. So 382, 72 cents, we're right there, okay? And there's your golden zone between that 382 and that 618 at 60 or at 81 cents, okay? So we need to first get into the golden zone, and once we do that, we would then be targeting the deeper retracement areas, 786, 886, right? One step at a time, right? One step at a time on everything. FTT, follow through, price action looking good, right? This one was nice. The 113 bearish shark, double top, right? Double top, you sold off all the way down right into the 50 perfectly, and then now you've rallied already back up into the golden zone, I would imagine. So let's take a look. Initially from the C low to the D high, we had the 50. Okay, that's what we're talking about. $52, you had the 50% fib. That's where we hit. At that point, we took this long. Okay, you see what I mean right here? So that long is down profit by 10%. Okay, so let's back out of that, and we are now approaching from the highs to low. We hit the golden retrace already. Okay, so you see that? That's where the 382 to the 618, and you've already basically entered and hit that zone. Okay, golden retrace zone, you're in there. You haven't quite hit the top of it, but you've almost have. So next you would want to target that deeper retracements, right? The 786, 886 deeper retracement, that's that white line overhead that we have painted between $60 and $62, okay? Deeper retracement levels. And if you could get that, 1272 would be next, right? 1272 would be next, 66, okay? So FTT. See how that plays out. All right. SNX, you've hit the target again. So, yeah, guys, come on, look at this. We sold off up here, 50%. We morphed. We said we're gonna go up here, and we are up here. Over the past 12 hours, that's where you're hanging out. Sorry. $22 has been hit. Now you have another level that must be flipped. If you fail here, right, you can't fail, but you're butting up against the door a lot, 3 times, 4 times. So usually when you test it a lot like that, there's no more supply and you break out, back test, and go, right? So that is what you want to see on SNX. $22 needs to be flipped, which is currently acting as resistance into support. XLM approaching the target areas, right, where we are looking for 72 to 76 cents on XLM with the initial swing low failure, right? And we are now painting a higher low here, probably painting hidden bullish divergence. Not yet, but more just convergence. Nothing saying that it's time to turn around yet. Massive inverse head and shoulders-esque structure, right? Potential neckline being painted here at the first target level area, 72. So you may end up getting a measured move like this. Okay, where you end up at 90 cents. Okay, so what would that be? Let's fib it from the high to low. That's basically the 618 is up there at 92 cents. So it makes sense. You hit the measured move first, you hit the 618 second, right? Before that, you would hit the 1272. So yeah, if Bitcoin can get some steam here and we could get to 63, you could see some more alt action is what it's looking like, guys. Oh, sorry, I had to take a drink there. All right. But yeah, this is looking pretty good here on XLM. You just need to flip this area, right? SR flipped area, overhead approaching, overhead resistance must be flipped in order to go to Valhalla. All right. Back to bitty coins. Whoa, what's going on here? Did this just happen or something? Let's see. Oh, we were on the hourly. Okay, so yeah, we went and back tested that. It looks like we went and back tested 49.6 again just now, and we are holding it. So far so good. Just need to hold these levels, right? I mean, worst case, you get this stupid little fake out where you fall out of it just to hit this square up down here that hasn't been touched yet. You double bottom on the low time frame, hold 49, and immediately get bought back up, and then you go again, right? But I don't even know that you'll do that. You don't need to, but it's always possible. But yeah, ideally, this move is coming within the next 2 hours, 3 hours. You're gonna get some kind of reaction on Bitcoin really, really soon here, based on the structure. Just it it's developing pretty complete, right? There's nowhere left for it to go. It's got to make a decision, and you're painting higher low, higher low, higher low. So the trend, right? The price action is just upsloping, right? Trend line. Okay, RSI upsloping trend line, right? You don't want to see this get broken. You don't want to backtest this and start losing this trend line, right? So keep an eye on that for invalidation. Maybe, you know, just watch it. It does not hurt to have it on your radar. But you do have some pretty good hidden bullish divergence here. So again, you don't want to sell off more and then start painting a lower low. Okay. You don't want to sell off more on the momentum and start painting lower lows, right? Start painting lower lows. You don't want to do that. As long as you could hold up there, you know, that's what you want to see. I'm not sure what just happened. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Bitcoin back at 50,000. Yeah, let's see if some bids can step in, but as of right now, holding the long position still. So let's see if we have a good entry. We have a little room to breathe here, right? Other people are panicking already. So, you know, let's just see how this plays out through the night. But I'm going to stay long, stop 45.5. And come get it. Come get it, bears. Try and stop us out. Go ahead. But, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I know it wasn't really long, but just got off a 3.5 hour flight. So anyways, what I'm planning is a morning stream. So sometime around 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. So basically, I don't know, 12, 13 hours from now, we'll get an update. So we'll paint, you know, 3 more 4-hour candles, and then we'll go live again, and we will see where we are. So just a temporary break, get some rest, set the stop, 45.5, get some sleep. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Alright guys, have a good evening, and we'll catch you in the morning for some follow-up. Have a good night. Duck is out.